So, I fear I've naught useful to share. Oi there, friend! Care to help a fellow out? All I ask is that you hear my request. What have you got to lose? My thanks, sir. As to the matter at hand, it concerns my ox cart business. I've been holding off service on account of all the monsters on the road, but now I feel prepared to start making trips to Melv again. Only trouble is, there are still monsters about, and I can't help but worry for the safety of the carts. That's where you come in. See, I've got a letter here from Lady Margaret, the Watchhead's wife, to be delivered to one Sir Leonard in Melv. I'd like you to accompany the cart in my stead and see to it that the letter reaches its recipient. What say you, friend? Splendid! I knew I was right to put my now. The carts only depart at certain hours of the day, but I find that time flies when I take a seat at the station to wait. And mind you don't forget to pay your way before you board. That's standard practice, and I would advise against trying any funny, but each cart travels with an escort of trained soldiers, see? In case it encounters any monsters. So anyone thinking of riding for free will have to take the issue up with them. But enough of my lecturing. Just make sure that letter gets to Sir Leonard, then come find me when the job's done. Oh, and I'll pay your fare this time, seeing as you're doing me a favour and all. Come find me when you've delivered that letter. I'll be waiting to hear from you.
'Tis a glorified errand we've been given, but we'd best see to it all the same.
Can't work as
should I
late
get up
as
to
I
today?
used to anymore.
An ox cart ought to make our journey easier.
One hopes these carts offer comfort commensurate to their cost.
Another day. That's quite enough. This ox cart's bound for Melv. I'll need to see some coin before I let you on.
Mayhap this ladder is here for a reason.
After you, Arisen.
We're setting out. Jump on if you're paid.
I'll sleep like a lot.
Should I get up to today? I'm in fine fettle today.
My back's so stiff.
As soon as my shift's done, I'm off to the tavern.
No shortage of easy marks. It's been a hard day.
Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients. Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
When does my time to be heading home? Lots to do. Precious little time.
I've a thought to share myself. By my eye, you lack surety in your step. Not to worry. You'll find your feet in time, I'm sure.
My thanks, truly. I hope only to be of assistance.
What to do?
Carol hears her from rumors and bullshit.
I've a selection of wares that's sure to please. Pleasure doing business with you.
What are you?
We've naught to discuss.
Don't bring trouble to my door. You hear?
You a traveller? Well, I'll not pry, but I can tell you've a strong arm. I used to be a sellsword, see? Time was, I spent every waking moment perfecting my skills. If you're anything like me, once you've reached the pinnacle of your vocation, you'll want to seek out a maester. They'll be able to teach you a skill of incomparable power. If properly persuaded, that is.
Whatever it is, I'll have to hear it another time.
What am I to do? He really ought to have returned by... Is that you, Norbert? Oh, fie. Wait, listen. Would you be willing to search for my brother? The brave fool said he was going to look for herbs and went off into the forest. I've seen no sign of him since. I'd go and search for him myself, only... It is a dangerous place. I'm not afraid of monsters, but 'twould hard. So I thought, mayhap you'd go in my place. Please, sir. I worry for my brother. Many thanks. Right. As for where I think he's gone, go into the forest and turn when you reach the tree with the bird's nest, keeping the cliff to your right. Ah, this won't work, will it? I could see the route in my mind's eye, but my feet know it better than I do. I don't think I could plot it on a map, and 'tis hard to do, but my brother and I are the only ones who use that path to my knowledge. I suppose there's only one thing for it. I'll have to show you the way. Just be alert. The monsters of the forest have changed since the dragon's attack. I'll need you to watch over me. Keep right.
We've been called upon to render aid. Let us make haste. Well met, sir.
I hope the weather holds. Living God, but dreams are clear.
Wish I didn't have to work to earn my bread.
There's a ladder here.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
How might
Fancy a look at my wares? Always a pleasure.
Here at the inn, we also offer... I get so few customers, you see, that I can manage both roles myself. But enough about me. Did you need something? Do come again.
What should I get up to today?
I'll gladly stay a while.
I must be ready, for my sake and everyone else's. Alas, would that you were our sovereign.
I'd be glad to talk when I'm off duty, sir.
Do be quick, I fear my time.
What brings you here?
Where was that back in the day?
Hard to make anyone smile in these trying.
Idleness is a luxury we can barely afford. We found a chest. Let us examine what it has to offer.
Shan't resist.
It's been a hard day.
I'm about ready for a break.
Stomach's growling. Time for an early supper.
Hale, if you've a moment to spare, I'd like a word. As you can see, we're rebuilding, a task that can always benefit from another pair of hands. What say you? Would you be willing to help? Excellent. You're a good sort. I'll not soon forget this. Here's what I need from you. A bask of saurians has made their nest outside the village. Though they're yet to cause any harm, their proximity makes the villagers uneasy. I'd like to enlist your aid in driving. I've prepared some explosive casks and left them by the village entrance. Use them to send the saurians scattering.
Saurians are monsters of fearsome strength, 'tis true.
Aye, what can I do for you? Ah, a letter from Lady Margaret, you say? It is a fair way you've come, then. My thanks. She's a kindly sort, I must say. We met when I worked with her husband, Sir Gregor, on one occasion. Now she's taken to inquiring after my health at the turn of every season.
Shall we report our results?
Is this place bereft of beasts and brigands both?
I'll take the peace and quiet over a horde of enemies any day. This is generally used as a material. I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
You can count on me to fly to your aid in your hour of need, Master. Knowing when to use...
Seems naught ever goes right.
Let me get that.
I don't like this place at all. This is a good spot. Let's stop here a moment. I've camped here with my brother many a time. No doubt he caught his breath here before moving on, same as us.
Would you care to behold a forgotten rift stone, as yet undiscovered in this world? Then follow me. 'Tisn't far. What has come over you, Arisen?
This seems a decent spot for a campsite. Surely a rest can wait till after we've examined... and our surroundings. magic strike to an elemental rune.
Very useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
No harm in picking something, Master. Let us not get ahead of ourselves. The battle continues. An impressive view. We can infer much of the lay of the land from here. We are alone here, methinks. Perhaps we might stop a moment and find our bearings.
'Tis as you say.
A common reward. Frustratingly so.
We'll find a use for it, I'm sure.
I am in awe of your powers of detection. I'm sure my master would be astonished to learn this is here.
It is about time we pressed on, wouldn't you say, Master?
Can anyone hear me? Please! I need help!
The enemy retreats.
I see no merit in hunting down such cravens.
I drive you roaring flame.
No sense letting the enemy gain the upper hand. The early griffin gets the worm, as they say. My sword strikes.
Fire will prove effective against this foe.
What say we toss a combustible out and set it alight?
This one's ours, and make no mistake. I'd thought I was done for.
Aye, it was a near thing. How are you feeling?
I think I'll be all right. But if you hadn't come for me, Thanks, Ian.
Save your thanks, Norbert. I'm your brother. And I ought to have come sooner.
From where I'm standing, all that matters is that you made it in time. Anyway, I'm eager to be rid of this place. Let's return to the village, shall we? The sooner the better. I've got to deliver these medicinal herbs to the people who need them.
Aye, you'll hear no complaints from me. Let's be off.
We ought to avoid combat if we can. Our priority is to see our charge delivered safely.
One can never have too many materials. I'll harvest some now. I grant your weapon a magical boon.
I can report a successful hunt.
I concur. Wolves, Master!
This is my sort of place, the more the merrier.
Dare I say it? We trounced our foe well and true.
No doubt, this triumph will spur us into the next.
Tis a remarkable treasure we've found.
Perhaps fortune has deigned to aid us at last.
Fewer burden certainly makes for smoother travels. I dare say, the spring has returned to your step, Master. Not like a feast to get you ready for bed.
Indeed. Surely we've time for a short kip ere we continue on our merry way.
That's it!
A fine place to harvest some ingredients.
I'd say we collect as much as we can carry.
Let my magic grant you an elemental food! I'll collect that. You needn't trouble yourself.
Gran, I want to learn magic, please.
This again, child. You know full well your father has forbidden it.
There are plenty of things more deserving of your interest.
Why not?
Why must you always take father's side? I'd have thought you'd understand how I feel better than anyone.
What am I to do with that girl? Would that I could allow her to do as she pleases, but 'tisn't to be.
We've naught to discuss.
Why won't they let me study magic?
Always sets me.
Methinks we could move this boulder if we work together. Would anyone care to push? I'd wager there's aught to be found here.
Let us ponder how best to proceed.
Now here's a surprise.
At least all our efforts weren't for naught. Huh. I'll have to remember to tell my own master about this.
Might I be of assistance?
This is rather thrilling.
Freshly rested as we are, this battle ought to be in our favor. We must not let down our guard. I grant your weapon a magical boon.
A forgotten rift stone we've not discovered lies nearby. 'Tis this way, as I recall, from my last sojourn beyond the rift. Do you want me to go down this slope, Master? Just bear in mind that I shan't be able to climb back up again. Good, we're here. It was a glad thing to find Sir Norbert in good health. Shall we get him back to Melve? Very well. I'll guide you there directly.
I've a knack for gathering items, and am ever on the hunt for new finds. I'll gladly try out any useful mechanisms I espy.
Let me get that. I shall do as you say.
Right, just follow me.
An impressive view. We can infer much of the lay of the land from here. We are alone here, methinks. Perhaps we might stop a moment and find our bearings.
I suppose 'tis so.
Slide down and join me, Master. Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients. Shall we see if there's aught to be found while we're here?
Follow me. You'll never reach our destination if you continue in that direction, Master. But I suppose I can guide us there later.
There will be other opportunities to lead. For now, let us follow. Use these flames to smite our enemies. Ingenious. My own master must hear of this tactic. It is not what I expected.
Most effective.
Back at last. That was an ordeal.
Aye, I'm exhausted, but I can rest after I've
Good on you. Just take care, all right? You wonder why I don't follow him? So long as he stays away from that forest, he'll be fine on his own. When my brother told me he was going to fetch those herbs, I refused to join him. Said it was too dangerous. What with the monsters acting strangely of late. And I was right. But mayhap none of this would have happened had I only gone with him. My brother is always the one taking the initiative, while I stand around with my hands in my pockets. But today's misadventure showed me that the path forward is the one with fewer regrets. Even when you can't be sure where it leads. We managed to save Norbert. Perhaps that's all that matters. Still, I can't help but wonder if I couldn't have spared him some of the pain and fear he suffered. If I'd only steeled myself sooner. So from now on, I'm going to trust in my own instincts. Never again will I let fear stop me from doing what I know to be right.
Sir Ian was rather hard on himself, methinks. He saved his brother just as much as we did. Displaying bowmanship for an elf? My hand would tremble on the string if 'twere me, but I... expect you'll do just fine. Very well. I'll guide you there directly.
You have our gratitude. Lead the way.
I'm about ready for a break. Gotta fix this up.
That Lady Margaret's a kindly sort. We... Well, that appears to have sent some of the beasts reeling, at least. To finish the job, I'd have you drop a jar of poison into their nest. With any luck, the Saurians will realize that they chose a perilous spot and steer clear of the village boundary in future. But pray, take care not to drop it in the river. The villagers use that water on a daily basis. You must make sure your aim is true. Are we clear? Good. You'll find the jars of poison just outside the village. Toss one into the Saurian's nest, and your task is done.
A single jar of poison, or to send those Saurians packing. Only, do be mindful not to spill any on yourself, Master. Am I the first to notice we've all got different vocations?
One should think we'll be able to counter whatever comes our way. Let us utilize our individual strengths wherever possible.
Could you come over here?
Well done, Master. Those Saurians shan't dare approach the village for some time, thanks to your efforts. One could not have hoped for a gladder outcome.
Time to be heading.
You've done as I asked, I see. Many thanks for your efforts. And I must say, you've a fine arm. I couldn't have done better myself. Watching you got me thinking. Mayhap you've the sense to inherit the skills I possess. Or perhaps 'tis a little early for such talk. In any event, Thanks to the work you've done for us today, the rebuilding efforts ought to proceed apace. And for that...
That's that, then. Not bad, all things considered.
An achievement to be proud of.
I hadn't expected to feel such a sense of accomplishment. I suppose that comes of serving the Arisen.
Your current vocation is ill-suited to wielding a bow, Master. True enough.
We're not done yet.
Have you need of me?